Why, good morning, you beautiful souls. And this May, well, happy May 1st, I should say. And this May, we're going to be diving into really my specialty as a person who points. Some call them a spiritual teacher, some call them a guru, but remember, it's not anything fancy. It's someone who literally is more of a bridge or a signpost showing the way. And one of my talents is allowing people to experience self realization. And that's exactly what we're going to be diving into this morning. Self Realization 101 is your journey into answering that primordial question: who am I? What is life? And I seek to give you the tools and the knowledge so you can really walk that path to self realization yourself. Now, I've been instructed to be more, I guess you could say, proud of my journey and what was accomplished in this life already. And that is the full blown sober realization of oneness. That's kind of the path of self realization, is experiential moments where you come to understand you are not your thoughts, and the thoughts no longer distract you. They dial down, they get quiet. It's almost like you lock the door and thoughts have to present themselves to you. This ability to really just sleep effortlessly. Um, there's a lot of different aspects of self-realization, enlightenment, bliss, all these other things that are really misconstrued and cause way more cul-de-sacs that people get caught up in than actually carrying out this path to completion. And the best part is with enlightenment and all these other aspects is people think that this journey of life somehow ends and you phase out of existence, and that's not the point of self-realization. Self-realization is the start to self-mastery. You cannot master the beingness and who you are unless you know what you are. So, with that, I lovingly invite you into that space of the heart, transcending thought, emotion, physical sensation, but return to that throne of the soul, the effortless love that is pure being. When you hear the first three taps of the singing bowl, allow yourself to take a long, deep inhale, transforming your exhale into the mighty Om, that divine chord, that primordial sound that began and birthed this universe. Allow yourself to lower the jaw and relax the mouth as you chant that A note as if you're letting go a sigh of relief. From here, allow the mouth to close, and the U and the M will form naturally. As a demonstration to find your own resonance, take a nice deep breath here and let out a sigh of relief. That resonance you feel in the chest, the heart, that is the origin of that sound for you, not Om. When you come back from a long day, do you say, oh, or do you say, allow that A to resonate effortlessly from your purest and most calm state of relaxation. Allow yourself to let go of any thoughts, emotions, or sensations. Begin to see them from the point of otherness, as if you're a dog or a cat watching birds and squirrels through a window. Know that there is separation. Know that there is something in between you and the intimacy of thoughts, emotions, and sounds. It's this opportunity for you to use the egoic tools in base of the ego itself, separation, as the mighty divine tool it is, to separate yourself from the assumptions of what you think you are, to allow the experience to unfold and show you exactly where your true position in this play is. When you hear the final tap of the singing bowl, again, give your full attention to the sound of the ringing. And as it fades into silence, so too shift your focus, that affection of your attention, to the calm, the quiet, the stillness within and around you. Self-realization is simply coming to understand your position in this play. If we look at it in a formula, one could say the I am presence is that divine sense of self. Whatever it's attached to is commonly what we identify as. I am Peter. I am your name. I am angry. I am happy. I am sad. Yet it's that divine pureness in which gives life to all spoken after. Self-realization is not focusing on what comes after the I am, but focusing on that I am itself. And when we look at this concept of identity, what is it more than a collection of thoughts? As you've seen in your own experience, the trends, the fads, the phases of development and growth, what we're into and what we're not, have changed over time, yet there has been one essence, one foundation of your being that has gone unchanging. That is your sense of being, your sense of self, that point of observation and awareness. The window of being in which you are is eternal, is unchanging. But simply listening to these words will not take you across the bridge into experiential knowing. Even here, let go of concepts. The words spoken to you are simply for you to understand and trust, to entertain such happenings. To know that you are something beyond the collection of thoughts. You are beyond what others think of you. For these are just grand assumptions, beliefs held on to as real. The point of any teacher or one who points the way is to give you that trust, that knowing that everything will be okay in your search. That what you let go of is not you, for you can never be destroyed. It's to reassure you that the sense of me and self never dies, but simply transforms. The depth of understanding and meaning changes. So for here, allow yourself to let go of all misconceptions, beliefs, and assumptions of who and what you are in this existence. And come to know exactly who you are through the experiences you live every day. For the subtleties of this experience are the greatest teachers. Life is ultimately the greatest guru for every experience you've had in this effortless flow. When the internal state is quiet and there is just an immersion with the now. You've enjoyed those experiences more than anything in your life. We call them being in the zone, being in the flow. But in truth, it is just the effortlessness of our pureness. When we're no longer drawn to the internal phenomena of thoughts and emotions and sensations, but give our full reverence to life in the experience. When we're in the now, we all know what it feels like. Those moments where we skip time. Those moments where there is nothing going on internally. And we often associate them with these moments of love and happiness, for that is the true shine of our beingness that unfolds and radiates when we let go of the temporary. Yet in this path of self-realization, one must look at this sense. What do you hold on to that is in this temporary realm of existence? Does one experience sour your mood for the day? Does one event not happening exactly how you thought it would crush the spirit? Do you still dwell in mistakes and shame? One must recognize that these all arise because of our attachments to assumptions. And the first process of this journey of self realization leading to self mastery is to recognize fully that we don't know anything. That this process of figuring out who we are arises through the path of discernment, recognizing what we're not. When we say such things as, I am happy, I am sad, are we happy and sad all the time? For that is the weight of the words you're speaking. And as if you're convincing yourself, you cast a spell on your own sense of awareness when you use such language fleetingly. That you believe you are that temporary aspect. But come to hear and know you are not the temporary. You are that which is always unchanging within your experience, that window of awareness, that observer, that in truth, silent knower. As Krishna told Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, the more accurate depiction of what we are as this essence of pure being is but a sphere of infinite eyes, ears, mouths, hands. You are that knower. You are that divine witness. You experience all aspects of this existence, from inside the body to outside of it. Yet everything in this reality presents itself to you, so come to understand who that you is, stripped away from all the temporary. You are not the conditioned thoughts and emotions and expressions that you've learned and soaked up from your surroundings. You are not the past pains and traumas of the body that react to certain situations and scenes. You are not the victim in anything in life, because every aspect of this experience is intended for you to wake up, to answer this timeless and age-old question of who am I? For that is the first step in this experience that leads to self-mastery. Hence self-realization, to realize who the self is, what the self is. Only when you recognize who and what you are can you actually master it. And as we can see, many of us have gone down multiple avenues of life trying to find different answers and things without answering this question first. But heed this advice. You cannot build a skyscraper reaching the heavens on a foundation of mud unless you focus on self-realization and have this be your first task in this spiritual search. Everything else will be fleeting. Your bliss, your happiness, the joy, the realizations, they will escape you. Because fundamentally, the you has not been understood fully. This is the path in which I took. And this is the path in which all self-realized beings have taken. For it is the only logical step. How can I figure out what life is if I don't know who I am? How can I master myself if I don't know what that my or me is? This is the purpose of this question. Who am I? And the only thing that we can do in this experience is realize what we're not first. So come to understand, come to witness in your heart that you are not thoughts. You are not emotions. You are not the physical sensations, but rather you witness them. A thought presents itself to you. An emotion doesn't need to be acted upon, but can be witnessed by you and let go just as quick. The physical sensations of the body are not aspects to lead you away For that operates like the horse, ignoring the rider. Yet one can very much see themselves in this true position, that your consciousness, your sense of I am, that sense of me, myself, and I is but the rider to this divine horse we call the body. Yet it doesn't mean the beingness, the body, has its own identity. You crafted this vessel. You shaped this vessel. Your experiences, your processing and digesting of these experiences, give it more of that personality. Refine it. Like any tool, you must sharpen it, but also like any tool, you must know how to use it. So in this process of untangling the identities and attachments, realize and know in your heart, you are not this physical body. And if you believe that this physical body even belongs to you, that is a great misconception. For this body is of the earth, it will return to the earth. It is more hers than it is yours. So let go. We've come to love our physical forms because it is like any pet, any child, anything we love. We've come to grow, and this body has come to nurture us and protect us when our innocence, our consciousness of that pure love and divine is trapped in those naive years of the youth. But that is the purpose of this process in life, is to come home. It's the greatest act of humility. For self-realization is that wandering into the woods and realizing, I don't want to be here anymore. And coming back home to that love, that safety, that security of the divine. Many of us on this path of self-realization have come to realize it through this grand desire to escape, to flee, wanting an end. So allow this often negatively perceived yearning to be that divine inspiration for yourself to let go of the temporary that you know in your heart doesn't serve you. Allow everything to flow. Allow everything to be. And come to understand that your will in life is one guided by the heart and not the mind. And these deepest yearnings and aspirations of our pureness have always guided us to the truth. This grand knowing that you are eternal. This deduction that you are not the temporary happenings within you. You are not the temporary situations and experiences around you. But that all is connected by this primordial essence, this energy of love, this active intelligence we call consciousness, that is universal and connects all. For your ground of being itself, that sense of I am, stands upon that divine beingness. The process of self-realization leads to self-mastery. Yet again, we must come to recognize that the self is not this temporary flesh, that you are far greater, you are far more powerful. So take a deep breath here. And when you reach the peak, filling up the body with as much air as you can, again, try to take a few more breaths in. And simply hold that air as long as you can comfortably. Allowing the body and this sense of attachment to it to slowly fade. And as you sense more and more separation, forget about the breath and the exhale itself and allow the body to take over naturally. If you're currently feeling and experiencing that quiet, that calm, that peace of mind, know that it is because you simply shifted your attention away from it. This is that sense of I am, that you are beyond the thoughts, that you are beyond the emotions and the sensations, that you yourself witness the change of the inner space and the outer. This process of self-realization is one of deductions, and you must discern what you are not. Where does the truth end in your observations, and where does the imagination of your assumptions begin? For all of us can find this fine line within our own observations and witnessing. Again, take a deep breath here, filling yourself up with as much air as you can, that love and light. And again, when you reach the peak, filling yourself up as much as you can, again, take a few more breaths. And as you listen to these words, come to know in the depths of your heart that you are not the temporary states of frustration, sadness, or even happiness and glee. That you are not the temporary moments of pain and suffering. That you are the witness to them all. That every experience, both the inner and outer, is playing on your screen of consciousness. That you are a window of awareness and allowing life to flow through you, this vessel of the divine. You will come to effortlessly realize who and what you are. Again, if you haven't yet, allow the body to let go of the breath effortlessly. Do not take control over it, but come to understand it as this horse, and you are the rider. When you begin to see and identify the body as something other, you see it from your true position. That it is your vessel, your vehicle of exploration. But do you believe yourself to be the car when you are driving? Do you believe yourself to be the bus when you are sitting on it and enjoying a ride? No, but you are aware of the happenings, the times in which the car may need maintenance, when the bus stops and has to wait. This body is but your vehicle, and you are the divine controller. When you shift your attention and identification to the mind, to the emotions, and to the physical sensations, it's like allowing someone else to drive your car. Remain in the driver's seat. Again, take a full deep breath here. And when you reach the peak, again, fill yourself up with as much air as you can. It is you that observes the changing states, but you are sitting from that reference frame of the unchanging. The only thing that grows here is our depth of understanding of what it means to be. So allow yourself to focus upon it. And as you release your breath, allow yourself to fully empty the body of air. And when you hear this next tap of the singing bowl, take a nice deep breath in, allowing yourself to again chant that divine Om, and simply remaining in that position of the observer, the seer, the witness. Release the breath here. Namaste. I bow to that divine within you. Ooh, and thank you so much for joining me this morning. Don't forget to smash that like. I had a really great conversation with my co-host, producer, and really good friend, my Biffle Rusty. And this was after we had filmed a lot of testimonials for some of my meditation clients and students. And every one of them, when we did some real intimate practice of, like, it was really just like, why would you recommend Peter. Each one of them called me their guru, and it was the first time hearing it from them, and I was really like, "Ugh, don't call me that." And it was because after hearing Rusty's explanation and him assisting me with this kind of question it's because we have a huge misconception of what guru is here. Um, a guru is simply a teacher, someone who points the way. I've always referred to myself as someone who simply points the way. Oh, namaste to you. And the main thing behind this is the sense of one could see a guru as simply a signpost. It's just a direction, it's a compass or a bridge connecting you to the divine. It's nothing more than someone who has walked the walk. And because we're entering a time of a lot of change and transformation, these subtle happenings are becoming more apparent to individuals, that they're no longer attached to things that they were attached to for years, that the ability to let go of things and surrender have become more open. Yet, as people change again, and as we're entering this mass transformation on the societal level, it's important that we have to start from the ground of our being. Everything else that we seek to change doesn't matter if we don't know our true position in this play. And you can be incredibly developed, you can be really light years ahead in terms of your healing. Yet, if you don't know experientially that you are the divine, you're still living with that backdrop of fear. There's still the opportunity for the mind to distract you and take you away. So the first step in this whole process, in which we're starting with these self-realization concept in our first satsang of May, it's because every week we're going to be diving into a different aspect of how you get to this point of self-realization. Wednesday, we're going to be escaping thoughts, letting go of the mind, and hopefully offering you the space to witness that separation, that awakening of the mind, leading us to, again, the awakening of the heart, letting go of that identity and coming to realize that you're not the body, that you're not the thoughts, you're not the emotions and sensations, and coming to explore and really receive the grace of life to experience firsthand that you are all, that the divine and that essence flows through you. And the last is really this process of trusting life when you know this experientially, that awakening the gut. So we're going to be diving into this throughout the month. And really, these are opportunities for you to be a sage. That's really what it means, just to be a self-realized being and walk that walk. And it's not saying that you're going to have every answer to life instantly, but you're going to have the opportunity to explore it. In meditation, to fully gain the divine downloads, one must come to a place of stillness and calm first. But if you think that you're the mind, you think that you're the emotions and sensations, and the body's going to rile itself up, that's going to be very difficult for you. So, the whole point of this process of self realization is to really gift you the keys to your own kingdom. You know, it took me from the first moment I realized I knew nothing, it took me 7 years to have that experience of oneness, and about 6.5 to realize that I was not the thoughts experientially. That awakening of the mind arose. And then again, within that, 6-month, 5-month period, it was that constant question. Well, it's like, if I'm not this mind and this identity and these temporary things, then who am I? What am I? And that question just ate at me, leading to the point of the dissolution of self. And it's not as crazy as you think it is, folks. Um, I can't really reveal too much about it, but it's really just the dropping away of your personal identity. I didn't evoke it. I simply just kept asking myself that question, and that was my real sole focus in the waking state in meditation. And then it just happened randomly, literally while I was driving, picking up a neighbor from a doctor's appointment because he's old. Like, that's the beauty that you receive in this opportunity called life. That when you put yourself in the position to have that cup filled by the divine, its waters flow right into it because it's always yearning for this for you. Everything in your experience has been bringing you to this point. Because in true self-realization, the process to really come home happens because of pain and suffering. We reach that catalytic moment, that existential crisis, or some people see it as that midlife crisis where you've achieved all the things you want to in this physical realm, that you've gotten everything you've ever wanted, that you're at this peak of your performance and your experience, your profession, yet you still feel empty. Self-realization is that moment that journey begins because you realize it's not outside of us that matters. There's something in here that is unknown, that is unsettled. And for every one of us, the first task we're given in this life is to figure out who you are, what you are, and then to trust that, and then to live it. So this month of May, and our satsangs are going to be this exploration of self, this opportunity for you to fully wake up, to be a self-realized being, which leads you to that path of self-mastery. It's my gift to you because everyone's really seeking it out, and most haven't actually lived it, and I have. And I'm here to tell you that, and be proud in that, and to know that I'm one of many, that there are a lot of us out there. And one of my gifts and one of my abilities is speech, articulation, being able to connect the heart to the heart. So I want to give you this opportunity to be a self-realized being, because you don't need to live in fear. You have the opportunity and power to transform all of your suffering into a strength, those moments of loneliness into oneness. And experientially, you can witness this. And with the assistance and pointers, you don't have to go down the cul-de-sacs that made me take this path 7 years to figure out. That I want to give you the most direct path to that heart. And I hope that you join me in this journey this month for our satsangs, because it is my gift to the world. And it's really just me being me. And hopefully that you resonate with it, because I've gotten messages from some of you already that you've awakened from these satsangs. And that was when I wasn't even intentionally trying to do it. But those who hear recognize the profundity, or the depth of what I'm saying. The subtleties of this experience are your greatest teacher. Don't overlook them. One of the greatest ones I'll leave and end this with is, approach your meditation and approach this search of self-realization like you do sleep. When I say dissolution of self, you got to let go of your identity. You're not who you think you are. The initial egoic reaction is to contract. But in truth, you lovingly let go of this identity every night. My words aren't any different than your active sleep. So, with that, may the fruit of knowledge offer a seed, and in that seed may your love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment, for a tree shall grow, and in its shade may you find peace, and offer peace to all whom ask. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you, and remember, folks, you are that divine light. Come to realize yourself and live this experience as the rider, and the body as the horse. And more as you practice this, that separation will occur, that lack of intimacy. You no longer will react, you'll start to respond. You'll start to see the body, the cause and effect of why it's operating the way it is. And when you come to understand the vessel, the vehicle, again, it helps you understand your true position in the play. So, peace. I love you so much. Be sure to tap in Wednesday and the satsangs on Sunday to come, because again, we're going to be diving deep into this process of self-realization so you can wake up fully to who you are, what you are, and really just shine your light as the beautiful gift to this universe you are. That's what we're here for. I love you so much. Peace.